You know, Aquarius, the hardest part about starting over or beginning something new is forgetting what happened beforehand. You know, it's when we're young and we've never fallen in love, for example. I know this is not a love reading. This is just a metaphor. So you apply it to the energy to how it applies to you. But when we're young and we fall in love, we kind of do it innocently. We don't even know what to expect, you know? And so we're so wide open. That's why the impact is so great, you know? And then after that, it feels like we're being crushed when that love ends. That's not the good news. The good news is this, well, not the good news. Let's go through the challenges. Is that, so the challenge of being able to love again is being able to forget or somehow take space from the pain that any kind of disappointment or suffering has caused you. Especially expectations. I'm not saying that something is ending. What I'm saying is, if you're at a point in your life right now, and that's what the cards are looking like, that you're at a point in your life where there's going to be a major change, much of the major changing is happening in your 12th house, right? And the catalyst, I believe, well, the North Node is in your 5th house, I believe. So that's saying that to follow your heart is going to be a challenge, but the challenge is there. It's like, it's time to follow your heart. It's time to like get on board with your soul purpose and what is calling to you. And this energy of third house. Well, third house, I think, was where Taurus and I'm sorry, not Taurus. Yeah, both in Taurus, but third house right now. Uranus and Mars in Taurus are in your 3rd house right now. So there's just this sense. So that's telling me a lot, because a lot's happening in your 2nd house too. I think it's the moon and Neptune and Chiron. There's some shit going on with finances here. Now, it could be that you're keeping a secret. You're going to unveil this big thing, this big idea. It could just mean that there are past things creeping up, like stuff that you owe or money troubles that you didn't tell anybody, or something with finances right now. And you want to talk about it. You want to say something about it, or something to do with communication, maybe wanting to make money through communications, etc., etc. It's pushing all the buttons, and these challenges are going to like pop up because a lot of the clusterfuck of planets right now is in your 12th house. All of these things, all of these issues or these challenges are going to pop up in places that you didn't expect. Bills that you didn't expect coming in, or issues or circumstances with your spouse that you didn't expect. And this could also translate into what's going on with you emotionally, popping up in places that you didn't expect. That could be you walking into a room and all of a sudden crying because you see a painting and it stirs something in you. All of these things right now have to happen. It is absolutely essential for you to sort of trust this energy. Because and trust that things will be okay. I do believe that there's a dynamic switch here. And I can't ignore this. There's big time wedding celebration energy. So I don't know if you're going to somebody's wedding or you're planning a wedding, or you can feel it coming. There's some sort of like, maybe you've been planning a wedding for a long time, things haven't been working out, or finally somebody's popping the question, something like that. But this is sort of like the catalyst to where everything is coming out, like why everything is coming out. It's like suddenly they're going to be your husband and wife, and now you got to show them all the debt that you've accrued, right? Or that everything is coming out now because of some sort of romantic issue, feeling like maybe I don't deserve to be loved, right? I don't deserve to be loved because I fucked up this much, or I'm not doing so well right now, or I'm having these struggles right now, or simply the way that I make money may be something that people end up judging. There is definitely a push. I don't know if you want to call it inspiration. What do you want to call it? There's definitely a push to really find something out, figure something out, research, learn. Maybe how to do things on your own, right? Maybe how to not need somebody else and leave that past behind. I mean, there could be some of you out there, I know I'm giving you a lot of examples. I'm kind of cold right now, giving you a lot of examples. There could be somebody right now learning how to like pick up the pieces of their life because they were just divorced and they were left with nothing. It's like, well, how do I make this work? It's all an opportunity for learning. And this is how I know, because this is the card that sits right in the middle of your reading, which is about research, learning, getting information, understanding, education, all of those things. This is a time for you to really start like doubling down on learning something new or figuring something out, because if it's been pushed over into the corner and you haven't wanted to look at it, you are going to have to look at it now. This energy is going to demand that it not be ignored. There's no way for you to get around this, right? So there's a sense of gathering yourself. I love that this card is 11. I really do. I think it's awesome. Talk to God. There's a sense of gathering yourself, and in prayer or meditation, being able to see, you still have everything that you need. You are still very connected to the cosmos. Nothing can take away your soul, and your soul is not impacted or affected by all of this 3D stuff. However, it is educated by all of this 3D stuff. And since so much is popping off in your second and third house, so many of these catalysts, these catalytic energies that are forcing or somehow being forced because of where Saturn is, there's so much Saturnian energy. I mean, as soon as I started shuffling the cards for you, I was like, whoa, major Saturnian energy. And Saturn does have to do with what we construct or what we're building in the 3D. So it could be your business, your life, like taking stock and saying something has to change, something has to move, something has to shift. It's time to move on. It's time to develop myself in a different direction. When I've gotten maybe really cozy right now with the area that I'm in, there's some need to go. And I do believe it's financial or romantic. I know, like that's so random, right? That's so general. But this is a general reading, right? There's just a sense of being honest with yourself. You don't have, this isn't about necessarily being honest with other people yet, but this is about being honest with yourself. And through being honest with yourself, being able to have an open, honest conversation with God. Not asking for help or for God to fix everything, but to simply say, guide me in the right direction. Help me to have the strength and fortitude to get through this. I know that I can. This is not necessarily the easiest thing right now. Clean up your mess. Clean up your mess means that there was some trouble or some issues in the past that now need to be addressed. And you might need to learn or to research, educate yourself in order for them to be addressed. So there's an implication that there is time for you to do this. Or you're at a point in your life right now where you have been working very hard, especially if it comes to do with your body, what you put in your body, food, drink, maybe over celebrating, partying too much, right? Something like that. Any overindulgences. That could be too, that you're cleaning it up now. You know, it's New Year's. A lot of people make those New Year's resolutions, but it's not about that. It's about recognizing where the pressure points are and being surprised and sort of being shocked that these things even come up right now. But the shock of those things coming up is kind of forcing you into a position of making you realize, I've got to deal with this right now. But you needed information. I know this because, you know, two major players, that Mars and Uranus energy, just like those powerhouses right now of wanting to make a change, wanting to do things differently. They're popping up here in your third house. And here, conclusions are within reach. Learning something, knowing something, finding something out that really will impact your ability to finish cleaning up. Make some decisions. you know, this could also be saying to me that you have been working very hard at cleaning up, or I know that sounds derogatory, at fixing or improving at certain aspects of your life, maybe especially your sense of spirituality, your marriage, your relationship within your marriage, what you put into your body, the food that you feed yourself, all of those things. Like there is an improvement period that's here right now. Either it's starting now, happening now, or it's finally coming to fruition now. So here you have your hard work is paying off. This is the Capricorn new moon. Something must have happened or started or begun on this new moon. And I had said that this was a great time to start like a new enterprise, new business, long-term goals. So it's like now you have the energy and the fortitude to be able to apply yourself in the areas that you know maybe were your Achilles heel, maybe were your weaknesses. But ultimately, it was a perfect time to kind of set in motion those long-term improvement plans. And now you're coming to the conclusion, the end of a tough cycle is approaching. And this is because double Capricorn, and Capricorn is in such a position right now. All that energy in Capricorn is like sitting there in what is your 12th house, maybe of mystery. Not understanding just how it's going to impact your life, or how many things you're able to clean up and fix with how you've been able to work. Maybe not even realizing how much of a mess there was, because some of you could be getting those surprises of, I thought I was finished. You know, I thought that I was done with all this, but it's not. There's still a little bit more to clean up, and there's info coming in. There's info coming in, but it will come in a place that will surprise you. Prosperity and freedom. So this is saying finally freedom, especially financially. If like any kind of financial issue or damage that you had suffered, or any kind of dependency financially that you had suffered, there's a sense of finally being able to break away from that. A feeling of, whew, I'm going to be okay. New beginnings, right? Now you can start over because you're getting like a blessing from heaven that's going to help you start over. Maybe a grant, maybe a scholarship, maybe a loan that comes in, or just a new job, like a financial opportunity. This has to do with finances, and this is a new beginning. Like finally you're freed and you're liberated from whatever you were stuck in. Or you had committed yourself. Because that could be what wedding is too. You'd made a commitment to something long term, and now you're trying to find or do research. This is a good time to do it, to find out how you can get out of it, how you can get out of paying, like if there is loan forgiveness or something like that. Like this is the good time to put your energy into figuring out how to get those APR rates down, etc. All of those things. It's like whatever, like just sort of trapped you, and like kind of like round itself around you, and there's a sense of finally being able to let it go. Sea of Love is a really interesting card because it speaks of letting go. It speaks of allowing the past to be gone and to get out of your way, just like the past to be done. Thank it with gratitude, honor it, and then it's just being over. So there's an implication here that something is over. Maybe not a bad thing, maybe it was a bad thing, but it's definitely a phase in your life that is over, and realizing that despite any kind of mistakes that you made in the past, you still do deserve a bright and beautiful future. And that bright and beautiful future is here. It's presenting itself to you. The only caveat right now is those surprise hits. But they're really just there as residuals to make sure that you stay really focused right now on long-term goals. Because if you look at something short-term right now, it may derail you. But if you look at it long-term, then those surprise conflicts or those surprise challenges are not going to get you down so much, because you're going to be like, all right, I'll fix it. I'll work on it. Let's put it into motion. I have this so many weeks to do it. It's going to be okay. And then after those 3 weeks, I can move on to the next step. If you see long-term right now, and this is what the Capricornian energy is telling me too, anything that you commit yourself or you committed yourself to long term, it's coming to fruition. You're starting to see that, wow, there are really benefits in that long haul. But this also tells me marriage. I don't know if you've been in a relationship for a long time. You might be finally getting a wedding invitation, like a wedding ring, like an engagement ring. You're finally making a commitment to planning your wedding, finally setting a date. You know, this is a sense of you've been in this situation for a while now, and now something is finally starting to come to fruition, but not without its surprises. Okay, yes, we will get into the surprises. I'll go into detail in tarot because that's what we do. The link is below for the extended. I'll go into detail as to what those surprises are, what the challenges are, how to overcome them, and what the future holds. And that also includes your romance reading too, FYI, just so you know. But we're going to go into the spirit animal cards really soon over here. So trust your path. This is maintain this is like trust your path and set boundaries. It may very well be that you were too lenient and too giving. I just discussed this with Capricorn. The energy is in the air right now. Once upon a time, you were ruled by Saturn too before Uranus was discovered. So it could very well be this harsh judgment, being a harsh critic of yourself is starting to allow other people to get one over on you or take too much from you, or you not to reach or stretch yourself out as far as you might want, right? Boundaries are starting to piss you off. They may be feeling bound in and you need freedom. Well, you're going to get an opportunity for freedom. Some sort of opportunity is going to open up, especially financially. Sort of liberate yourself from what you're bound to right now. Let's get into your animal totem. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And like this video and share this video on your social media platforms because that really helps. Also ring that bell so that you know when I upload all the content here. I upload between 12 and 14 videos a week. And you guys all know to not just check your sun sign, but there's your rising sign, there's your moon sign. There's so much astrological and tarot advice here every single week. There's always a Vimeo. There's always an extended reading too for those who want a near personal reading, a more in-depth and specific reading. It's always there. You can subscribe directly there too, and then you'll get notified about a day before. You'll have access to those videos if you've subscribed over there. Also, I post a weekly astrological forecast over there, just general energies of how the cosmos is, the major themes for this week. That's totally free. That I post over in Vimeo. I also post it on Instagram, and you can join me on Instagram and get those weekly astrological forecasts as well as interact live with me because I go live on Instagram. I do a general reading 5 times a week. So you're welcome to join me over there. Born_without_boundaries. Come on over. Yeah, thank you so much. Just a little brief shameless self-promotion. Let's look at what came out. Be peace, but it's upside down. So yeah, this is essentially saying exactly what there was a lack of balance here. Something got shifted. Also, maybe an unbalanced partnership that you would become a part of, maybe unbalanced specifically or essentially in the finances. Now, this could be part of your past because it's coming up in the past position. But what is saying to me is because it's coming up is this greatly impacted you. And it impacted you so much that you may have been acting out or acting aggressively intentionally in the opposite direction. I'm never going to need anybody. I'm never going to do, no. Just like, I'm never going to need anybody. I'm never going to want anything from anybody because I don't like how it feels to be bound, tied up or bound to somebody. But ultimately it's like letting it go. Like that's the big message here is let that shit go so that you can open yourself up to what wants to be for you, which could be a new opportunity for romance or marriage. Let it shine. So this is Scorpionic energy. Finally letting your like speaking out, saying what you need to say, communicating, or putting a spotlight on different kinds of topics that are really important to people. This is revealing the truth, seeing things, spotlighting things, investigating things coming out that this is a surprise information is what I'm saying. And also because it's peacock energy, you may surprise yourself with what you have the ability to do. That's another thing. You may really shock yourself. You may have forgotten that you had these talents, that you had these skills and abilities. And now if you focus on them, it's like wipe the dust off those old dance shoes, man, because you can dance and you put them away for too long. That kind of energy. Give with gratitude and grace. This is definitely putting your whole self in. But also maybe people finally seeing how much you've given. People didn't realize it, or understanding how much you've put in and how much of your success right now is actually you, or what you want to do to make the world a better place, that it's not just about you anymore. It's about speaking out on larger purposes, larger themes, because Turkey totem is also very philanthropic energy. So it's like realizing what you may want to do now in a position, if you're in a position now to make the world a better place. Okay. Eagle energy. This is great spirit. So this is like the manifestation of great spirit itself showing up in your life saying, I'm guiding you. I'm guiding you. This is a path that you have to maintain. This is also Capricornian energy, what you're doing in the world, how you're doing it, and how hard you are on yourself while you're doing it. But this is definitely more Saturnian energy, setting up karma. And I don't think that it's definitely like you paying for your past sins or you paying for karma. I don't think that that's what it is. I think that this is old karma coming back, good karma, essentially coming back. People finally seeing something that maybe you never took credit for. Yep. Because this is definitely getting communications or people complimenting you for things, like people noticing you for things that you did a while ago, maybe even help that you gave, like guidance that you gave. And suddenly it's like all of a sudden they're noticing you for it. But it's definitely complimentary. Yeah, stepping into the spotlight, man. It's you shining out like a celebrity, like shining. This is your shining star, and this is also Aquarius energy. So Aquarius energy is all about friendship and doing something that's right for everybody in the community, and like really being credited for that. Something that's popping up may not be so bad. Trust in divine detours. You may get a shock of your lifetime about what this inspires you to do, what direction this inspires you to take, and if you've been inspired to take a new direction because of a realization or an aha moment in your life, then do it. Do it, and don't even question it. Take a leap of faith. What? That card came up like perfectly, like right at the right time. That's crazy. Take a leap of faith. Trust your conscience, trust your soul, and it may seem weird, but you're going to feel it. What will feel weird is how right it feels. Do it, and you'll be noticed for it. Let's go into your angel messages. Unless you want to go to, you can pop over to, let's go into the angel, to the extended right now if you'd like. But I recommend hanging around for the angel messages because they're always very powerful. And they'll surprise you too. They always do. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude along with positive beliefs and thoughts are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry. Think love. This is maybe cleaning up all the past sadness, letting it be in the past, and setting yourself up for a very beautiful future. Destiny. Your destiny is to blossom, to shine, to transform to an ever greater light. This is a leveling up moment. Whoa. Precious gift. Friendship, family, and love are precious gifts. Do not lose sight of what is most important. Those are your constants. Prayer, no matter how difficult the situation, what did it say? Talk to God. Angels are like, ask us. Tell us what's wrong. Tell us what's going on. We will give you the answers that you need. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask. We are listening. So even though you may be going through a tight spot right now, it's also a very spiritually charged spot where spirit has your back. It's listening. So don't be afraid now. During this energy, this is when you just pray. Pray. Healing angel. At this very moment, you are being bathed in gold, pink, and deep green light. Accept this healing. We, your angels, surround you with wings of love. You are eternally free, eternally fresh, and eternally abundant. And this is something that I wanted to go over with Sea of Love too. This sense of forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. Surround you. Accept this healing. Like, accept that you're worth it. Worth the healing. Even if you've made a mistake. It doesn't invalidate your rights as a human, right? This sense of almost being able to forgive yourself or forgive someone else. Let's go over to tarot, ask those specific questions. We'll get to the bottom of all these challenges and see what the outcome is. I will see you guys over there. Link is below.